Welcome back, AMFishers. I'm Georgopoulos, the host of the AMFisH fishing vlog series. Doing a little video today on something that's actually pretty cool to know. Not many of you may or may not know it, so I thought I'd ask, because I actually explained this to a few people fishing on a lake that I was at a few weeks ago, and they were just shocked and very happy I shared that info with them. But a fish's eyes, a fish that you catch, its eyes can tell you quite a bit about what they're eating, what level they're eating at, just by looking at their eyes when you catch a fish. So I don't have a fish here with me. I'm going to do this the best I can. I've actually got a pretty large crankbait here with big eyes, so I'll show you. So there's the bait itself, and there are the eyes on this bait. And I'm only using this one because, again, it's got pretty big eyes, and it'll probably get the message across as to what I'm trying to do. So when you see a bait fish and you catch it, or just a small bass or a walleye, whatever you catch, and its eyes are up high, they actually stay stationary for quite a while, probably about 15 to 20 minutes before they kind of reset. But if you see the eyes pitched up way up here, they've been looking up. They've been looking up at the surface, at bait fish, at a school of bait fish. If you notice that the eyes are actually just like this, looking forward, then they're looking dead ahead, which means the fish were at the same level, the bait were at the exact same level as the actual fish was. Sorry, put myself there, and I need to readjust myself in my kayak. Matter of time, almost a couple of hundred videos, and I lightly hook myself on camera. But back to the video, what happens. If you notice, rinse my finger off there, if you notice that the eyes are facing downwards, angled downwards, that means the fish have been looking down at bait. Now in most cases, you're not really going to ever have fish above the bait. You might catch bass that are looking down or swimming down, and they're looking for crayfish or crustaceans, stuff like that. That'll happen from time to time, obviously, we know that. But in most cases, keeping an eye on the fish that you catch, and actually it's funny keeping an eye on them, but watching their eyes can tell you quite a bit. Just like I explained, if the fish are positioned closer to the top of the head, that means the fish were like this, looking up at something. If they're positioned straight, angled looking towards the front, they were looking at bait fish that were in their area. And if the eyes are positioned down, closer down to the bottom of the head, they were actually looking down at bait fish. So it's a cool little thing that I thought I'd do a video on and share with everyone out there. Like I said, not everyone knows it. And I've done quite a bit of reading on stuff like this over the years, and I'll take a look at, it's a good identifier for me. When I catch that first or second fish, I try and figure out, take a quick look, and I always try and log it in my memory. Just take a quick look. Where are the eyes positioned? Is this bass looking up, or its eyes way up, or its eyes in front, or its eyes looking down? And that'll give me an idea. So as an example, if I'm, if I catch that bass on a jig and pig, and I see the eyes were down, then I know he hit right off the bottom. If I was actually just popping that jig way up, and 2-3 feet off the bottom of the water, and that fish kind of looked up at it, I know my bait was probably a little bit above that fish, or that fish was actually, I'm going to take some good weights here in a second, sorry, just got to adjust myself. Boat passed by, and I'm going to take a few swells here. But yeah, it's a good little thing, like I said, to keep an eye on, and just basically take a quick look at the fish that you catch, look at its eyes, see where they're positioned, and then that's going to be the depth that you're going to want to fish. It's not going to necessarily, again, tell you the depth, it's going to tell you where you need to position it. If you're running a spinner bait and, you see the bass, his eyes were looking up, run that spinner bait exactly the way you were running it. If you're running a spinner bait and you notice that the eyes were down, there could have been a school of bass, as an example here, and your bait was just running below them and they were actually idled and looking down, and he struck that way. But it's a quick and easy little thing to do. You just got to remember to do it. That's the trick with this, is take a look at those eyes. We get in a hurry, we take a picture, We take a couple of pictures, then we throw the fish back, but actually look at those fish because they can tell you quite a few things about what they're looking at, how they're looking at, and how long they've been looking at it. Again, their eyes will probably stay like that for about 10 to 15 minutes, slightly longer at times, especially if they're fixated on the school of bait fish and they're looking at them intensely, waiting to pounce on them if they're going to feed, if they're not going to feed, or to just see where they're going to go. But keep that in mind, guys. Like I said, I shared it with a few people and they thought it was interesting. I added it to my list, my video list, and I thought I'd shoot it today. Just to get this video out there for all of you in hopes that it assists you in catching more fish. So thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.